Hello and welcome back for more of the Brian Fraud Fairy Oracle cards definitions. I'm letting Spirit pick a few and then we read the definitions in each video so that people can see what the book meanings are. I myself channel the messages when I'm doing readings, so I don't necessarily use the actual meanings from this book, especially since they're so long. But going through all of the cards, a few at a time as Spirit, directs them, and reading the meaning so people can see what the meaning is from the book and how it affects, in addition to the channeled messages. All right. So Spirit, what other messages today would you like for the next group of cards to be read? So, done several readings already, so I just want to clear this off so that hopefully the smoke detectors don't go off, right? Let me open the door just in case. Sure the air comes in so that. Okay. So the first card up for that Spirit wants read is Mike a Knuckle, and he's just silly. He kind of reminds me of a little goof off, like not a rebel, but just somebody that likes to have fun and is like relaxed. Card is 49, so that's a 13 breaks to a 4. And if you just look at the card and see what you would, in a reading, what you might think that it means, and make note to see if it matches what Brian Fraud thought of when he made this card. Okay? So, 49. So it's Mickle the Muckle. I thought it was Mike, but it's Mickle. There. I don't know if it autofocused or not. So, let's see. So, let me stand that way. How's that? Can you see it? Maybe let me lower this. I hate to do camera adjustments when it's already going, but I feel like you can't really see them. So let's bring the camera down a little bit. Okay. So maybe bring her here. Okay, thank you, Goddess, for holding the card. I don't know if you can still see it or not. almost as low as it goes. So, anyway, let's get started. Mickle and Muckle is a mixed blessing, is a grig of good family. As you have doubtless heard, grigs are merry, so merry that they have become proverbial for it. They want you to be merry too, with a childlike open heart. Mickle informs us little things come in good packages. He is a little thing, and therefore is good, and well packaged in his skin. This is fairy logic, and I am not responsible for it. Mickle can be foolish, silly, playful, and absurd. He is fond of goofing off and considers play to be an art form, and himself a fine artist at it. He understands renewing the spirit and recreating the body and emotions. He knows that all of us have a child within who needs to play and be cherished. He also knows we need to make mistakes so we can learn from those mistakes, which is how he got the title of a mixed blessing, which is your inner child. So you can think of Mickle as your inner child. When we stop pretending to be adults just for a moment, stop trying to live up to some impossible, probable, boring standard, we can regain the clear, direct vision of a child. We can, like Mickle, see things as they really are, and we can focus on the present moment, which is our only place of power. Here and now, to be present, is where we can do things, change things, and enjoy real things instead of mere ideas and dreams. Mickle reminds us that the past is the past, gone forever. The future is just a dream, and now is the only time we have a moment by moment to change. Mickle is a great adventurer and explorer of life. He leads us to the hidden, surprising, magical places if we let him. Line up what is needed. Here is the benefit of a childlike, trusting heart and childlike wisdom. Seeing differently into the true natures of things. Don't complicate things. Don't overthink things. Don't analyze things. What you see is what you get. Don't look for hidden and subtle meanings and motivations because they are not there in this case. Go to the heart of the matter and the simple core hidden behind complexities. Don't be so caught up in thinking about the future that you can't see what is happening now. Welcome the adventure into your life. Try something you've never done before. Take some time to play with Mickle before you turn into a grumpy glump or a worn-out worm, whatever that is. Very cool. So basically it's saying, welcome your inner child and allow it, the freedom to show in your everyday. Tomorrow is not promised, right? So that's that card. And let's take this card and put him back over here. Laced Moon's Daughter. This reminds me of kind of a playful energy as well, like our higher selves. Like our, both our inner child and our higher selves wrapped in one. You see she's on top of his head. Okay. Number 38. So it's an 11. Laced Moon's Daughter. Okay. Light cast in shadows, spiritual guidance, illumination, and riddles. She is the bringer of the light in the darkness, yet moonlight both reveals and conceals. Her bright fairy footprints light the path ahead of you. guiding you through the dark. She is also one of the guides at the passages between the other worlds and this one. It is she who, with her bright light, tends to the gate of revelations, showing us the way through by illumination, while her sister, Epona's wild daughter, card 54, helps guide us through the gate of despair. Leicester's gate is much more fun. Yeah, she looks it, right? She looks like she's having a good time. Yet in the process of guiding us, Leicester may pull a veil of cloud across the face of the mother, the moon. The 3 steps later, we fall into a bog that should wake you up, she thinks. Smiling wisely, she disapproves of sleepwalking, which is something that most of us humans do a great deal of time. The night contains too much magic and beauty and wisdom to walk through it unseen. You may find her activities helpful, you may find them frustrating. How you take them is entirely up to you, but they are intended to help you awaken you. Bear in mind that she does not trip us. She merely places the obstacle or the pitfall in our path, and we, sleepwalking and unaware, step right into it. We don't have to do that. As always, it is our choice. We could wake up, open our eyes, see where we're going. Lace wants us to be open to the great unknown, to the mystical, not necessarily magical, but the mystical experiences that teach us an expanded way to relate to the multiverse, all of the world's dimensions together. She is the daughter of the moon, but she is also an illuminating child of unity, card 1, where the Lazabuna, the Frog Queen, 39, wishes you to get in touch with your subconscious, your higher self, and find the treasures there. Lace hopes you will reach for your higher self. Your not yet realized cosmic wisdom. You know far more than you know that you know. There are places in ourselves that we may have feared because they are shadowed or unknown. We may imagine them full of monsters when in fact they are inhabited by joyful spirits. She wishes us to explore this terra incognito because that is where much of our potential and as yet unexplored wisdom lies. Lace reaches into our deepest minds, opening long shut doors, illuminating and revealing the uncultivated ground of our being, our hidden senses and talents. She speaks to us in the language of symbols, as fairies often do, because words are so limited. Any one symbol may speak to us on many levels of consciousness about many different aspects of being and makes us think harder if we spend time contemplating it. Last is a sphinx and finds the answers to her profound riddles, gives us the key to the multiverse. If you are attending to your dreams and visions and studying everyday occurrences, trying to discover the deeper levels of the meanings in every symbol there is, then you are learning the language of Lace. That language is spoken by artists like Brian and poets, whose words are informed by rich symbolism. Discovering it, though, through studies, through looking within ourselves, through the interactions with the fairies, not only teaches us the language of fairies, of art, and of high poetry, but it also gives us the keys to our own psyche, abilities, and to the deep levels of our own psyche, where the singers and the creative forces of the unity are most easily found. Through revelation and the ecstatic experience of the mystic Lace faces and leads us into the future, she prefers to let the old stuff of the past fade away in the illuminations of insight and newly accessed wisdom. You may be finding apparently random events and ideas are falling into a pattern and beginning to make sense to you. Things may be flowing more easily than you are accustomed to, and your choices may be bringing an unusually high degree of success. Psychic abilities, hunches, intuitions, forth knowing are becoming more clear and making sense. Trust this process. This also brings that psychic dream for lighting the future and illuminating the present. These dreams often speak in symbols as well, as fairies are known to do. So she's your higher self, but she puts the symbols out there, synchronicities, so that we pay attention to them and say, hey, I saw that yesterday. Those songs that play that have a meaning behind them from a certain soul. 43, Greenwood the slow. Okay, so I don't know if you saw what you would see if you had that in a reading, but the number is 43. Okay, so it's Gio the Slow. That was green. Cycles of time, slowness, waiting, and patience. Oh, our favorite word. The Gio is the gnome of slow process. How long is it going to take for that water to wear that rock away? How much has the mountain grown or eroded in the last millennium? Gio is there, watching attentively, making certain that things don't happen too fast, resulting in a slip-slop job. It is he who wrenches the waves slowly encroaching on the shore, wearing away the cliffs elsewhere to keep things in balance. He watches certain mountains slowly grow taller. Gio is also the master of the clarification process, whereby that we let something sit quietly while the impurities slowly settle themselves out, allowing the substance to purify itself in time. Gio doesn't understand why we rush about so often, missing out on the slow changes in the world around us. He's amazed at the stress and the problems we create for ourselves by doing this. He wonders how we can survive if we don't sit down and watch the sun rise, the sun set, or if we don't have time to enjoy our life. Especially if we are so busy rushing around with the idea that we are making things good for ourselves till later, but never for the now. The things about Gio's process is that they all proceed in good order. Fruit ripens on time, grain is ready to harvest on time, and the moon and earth circle each other in an equitable balance, neither too quickly nor too slowly. These natural processes work well, and in our own lives it is helpful to use them for models. Finding the right pace, the pace that allows natural, low-stress growth and process and joy. The world isn't turning any faster, so we might ask ourselves, why are we trying to cram more into every day? Slow down, sit back in your chair, and think a little bit. Why are you going so fast? What do you hope to gain from it? Are you metamorphically trying to push the river? Cute. What kind of stress is being created in your life by hurrying? The presence of the Gio in a reading indicates that the situation or issue is part of a long process that cannot well be hurried. It is important to settle in for the long haul and to set a pace that you can maintain for as long as needed, while remaining relaxed and patient. If you are short on patience, try cultivating your acquaintance with the singer of the chalice. Card number 12. You will find life much more delightful if you do so. Geo himself clearly does, to judge from his face. So, meet Geo, the elf or the gnome of patience. He's the one that puts a block there so that we can't go too fast, so we can't rush the process. And then of course we have death. So if that doesn't slow you down enough, death will. 53, card 53, this is death. And remember, death isn't about an actual life death, it's about a process. It's the death of a situation, it's a death of something that needs to start a new cycle. 53. Okay. Let me put my lights in dark in here. Not even 1 o'clock yet. Okay, so scary, eh? Before you panic, let's remember that if it were not for death and her hard work, we would all be up to our ears in alligators, mayflies, each other, and just about everything else. Without her to clear the world, there would be no room for growth or new life. This applies to all the realms, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and otherwise. The death card in all oracles, fairy, tarot, and other does not usually signify actual physical death. In fact, that is rarely the meaning. Rather, it indicates a significant change, one that involves letting go of the old life in order to move forward into the new. What we really fear about death is the unknown, the what's next of it all. We may be experiencing great pain as a result of holding on to aspects of our life that we have outgrown, but humans tend to hold on anyways because we don't know what is next. We want guarantees. We want to get open doors into the unknown, into the darkened space, yet when we go through these doors, closing them behind us, we discover a whole new world, one in which we can grow and develop into more of what we have the potential of being. So here we see death in her face hidden, without the form, holding a dark crystal ball. She herself cannot see the future. Something has reached a natural ending when you receive this card, and there is substantial and irrevocable change in the works. This change may be inner or outer, or at most likely both. It is timely and natural, but there may be much resistance to it. Leaves fall every autumn. In the spring, the trees are green again, and the new leaves grow. Make room for the new in your life. Let old go, lovingly, gently, and willingly. Okay, so that is the death card. You see where she's holding the dark crystal ball, but she can't see through that black veil anyways, because even she doesn't know what's in there, what's to come. I think that's why people hold on to relationships so long, because they don't know when will they have another relationship again, or when will they have another love again, when will they experience this again, or worked so hard towards this, so I don't want to let it go. But that's the natural process of a relationship or a person or a situation. Once it's reached what it was there to serve, the purpose that it came into your life for, because people come into our lives, people, person, places, things, they come into our lives for either a reason, a season, or a lifetime, to leave footprints in our soul. So we need to know when it looks like it's, you know, don't keep beating it into the ground. Plow the ground, plant anew. The piper is number 24. He looks like he's playing this musical instrument to me, but yet has very sad eyes. So he's playing the music, but his eyes look sad. Okay, 24. The piper. Music, order, harmony, seduction, empathy. Cool. The secret melody of the piper drifts through our lives, offering us a means to communicate from the heart and without words. His music conveys our emotions to one another, emotions that are audible only in the listening ears of our hearts. His approach to us is gentle and wordless. He may send us his melody through the whispers of leaves, the gentle of grass, the song of a bird, the hum of the city traffic, the buzz of a refrigerator, or the whir of a computer. He asks that we listen to the world around us, especially to the unspoken words of humans, fairies, plants, trees, crystals. Among the other things the piper offers us is the ability to bring him our sorrows, bring him the pain in the form of music, so that he may help us to heal them. Sing a sad song to this fairy, and he will add it to the energy of cleansing and healing. If we are open to healing, his natural music also offers us tranquility. If we take the time to be still and listen to it. The piper's music can be seductive and attractive, even magnetic. He allures us with our own daydreams. Sometimes we allow the music of the piper to enthrall us into illusion, especially the illusions of control over that which we cannot control. However, if we use that illusion, our own self-deceit, to break through into greater truth, it has served its real purpose. He calls to us, asking that we listen. Listen to him, listen to the fairies, and to each other's hearts. His piper may seem elusive, hard to hear, diffused, yet it is very clear, and it brings us the meaning of our lives. Working on developing more order, harmony, and beauty in your life, then you are singing to the tune of the piper, and becoming more like him as you do. To get what you want, the piper recommends that you try polite requests and gentle, patient persuasion, and then wait quietly, welcoming for it to come to you. Seek harmony and tranquility within yourself and in the world around you. Use tenderness and gentleness, unconditional love. This card speaks of the time of harmony, creativity, increasing in order. It tells of communication without words, the music of empathy, and the awareness of the feelings and concerns of others. This is a time to pay attention to the subtleties of others' expressions of feelings and ideas. Look past the surface and listen as you would to be bequeathed melody on the very edge of hearing. He also plays melodies in our dreams, which may be filled with the meanings and importance, and then he leaves it up to us to understand what he meant. This may also be a good time to be aware that others may be listening to us with sensitivity and clarity, so much so that they may hear what we are truly saying more clearly than we do ourselves. This card may also signify musical talent or ability, or it may suggest that the use of music is in some way important at the present time. So that is the piper. which is exactly what he looks like, because he has such sad eyes. So those are the cards for today through Brian Froud's Fairy Oracles. So when you see readers using these, because so many of us intuitively or channel, at least you'll know from the book's point of view what they were meant also to add to that meaning, not taking away from the channeling, of course, but to add to it. Have a blessed evening.